All right, guys, welcome back into another NBA DFS video. We got a small 5-game slate on this Tuesday night, and it's one in which is going to be interesting. We have a few teams coming in off of a back-to-back. Not too much injury news, not too much slate impacting injury news just yet. As always, that can come before lineup locks, so make sure you're in the Discord chat. And then also, I just want to remind you guys that any of the tools that you see in this video, Occupy Fantasy members have access to that. Okay, but as always, we're going to be going through the injury news first. We'll be touching on the best FanDuel and DraftKings value plays, touching on the ownership, seeing what people are on at the start, and then we'll begin into the lineup process, and then we'll begin out of here for you guys. So if you enjoy this coverage, make sure to like and subscribe as well. All right, let's jump into the injury news. All right, so looking at it right now, Kyrie Irving still listed out. No surprise there. Kawhi Leonard is expected to sit. He's listed out already. Desmond Bane currently questionable, expected to sit there as well. Zach Collins still out. Not too much slate impacting news and what I mean by that is like not too much different slate impacting news. Like we have seen these injuries before, so you kind of know what to expect from those injuries. So let's just get into the model. So looking at the top plays in the model, no big surprises there. I will say I'm a little shocked that John Morant's getting that much love, but at the same time, not really. With Desmond Bane out, you do expect him to be a solid price point play, a solid productive 50 DK FanDuel point play. So not too shocking, but at the same time, I would have thought KD would be a little bit better. This is telling us that if you're going to pay it for a stud, it might make the most sense to pay for John Morant. Is pretty much what this is trying to tell us here. And then from there, no big shocks. Let's just look at the FanDuel value. John Concher popping up as a great FanDuel value. We can see $900 cheaper on FanDuel. So yes, that does make sense. If you are trying to play him, which you probably should. With Bane out, it is expected that he's going to start or at least see a bump in playing time. Let's see the minutes for him. Yeah, the minutes are pretty high for him as well. So yes, that is a player that you can look at on the slate, projected to get 30 minutes. That should be good. Dylan Brooks, once again, on FanDuel, should be a strong price point play. On DraftKings, kind of priced up, kind of priced out there. He's also someone that, 30 minutes. He's been a highly consistent producer as well, but not someone that's really going to break the slate. You're expecting 25 to 30 fantasy points from him, and that's why on DraftKings, that's not really enough, but on FanDuel, that should be enough. Joe Harris, a cheap price point for him for the minutes that he's getting. He just needs to get hot to hit value. Reggie Jackson, kind of cheap. He finally had a good game with John Wall out, and John Wall is someone that could play tonight, just as an FYI. Let's look at DK value. Josh Hart popping up there. Jared Vanderbilt, yeah, he's a little cheap on DraftKings, I guess. DraftKings did a good job pricing. That's the takeaway here. Yeah, nothing too crazy from DraftKings. So let's just get into the lineup builder here. We'll show you guys kind of what it's looking like for ownership, and then we'll begin into the lineup process. All right, so starting off, we're just going to sort it by projected ownership. We got John Morant popping up. No big shot there, as the index was saying there. Jordan Clarkson had been a very consistent producer up until his last few nights. Like we can see, had been very consistent up until there. Minutes just were not there. Kind of poor shooting. So, expect him to play a little bit better against New York. That's kind of the expectation. I think that's why he has that big ownership, at least right now. From there, I actually really like Jalen Brunson at his price point. Should be a safe, 35 DK point play. So he's someone I could see getting more ownership. Mike Conley's price point is down a little bit, kind of for the same reasons as Jordan Clarkson. Hasn't been producing as much as you would want lately. RJ Barrett, definitely someone who's also in a bounce back spot. We're seeing a lot of ownership go to players that are due for a bounce back. And maybe people are just chasing that Utah-New York game. And let's just take a peek at that. So just trying to see if there's any big games that we should be chasing. I mean, no, not really. Sure, I guess New York versus Utah has a pretty solid over and under, the highest one on the slate, but not by much. It's not like you really need to be going out of your way to target them. Spread-wise, yes, it's supposed to be close, but no game is really one in which you don't want to be targeting. So I don't know. That is strange to me that game's soaking up that much ownership already this early. But what we can see is that the ownership's just getting spread out right now as well. So let's switch it up. We'll get into FanDuel, and then I'll be giving you guys kind of the first look build. All right, so FanDuel-wise, kind of the same players getting some ownership, but we are seeing the mispriced Dylan Brooks and John Concher getting some more ownership as they should. Isaiah Hartenstein, an interesting play. He's getting some ownership now as well. I actually really like Julius Randle on this slate in general. I think he's going to be a strong price point play. I kind of expect him to soak up more ownership. And there is one player that I really like on this slate that isn't getting much ownership just yet. And we'll touch on that. It might be because he hasn't been guaranteed to play just yet tonight. So we'll touch on that here right now. All right, so getting into the first look build here, always like to start off with the guards for you guys. So looking at, sure, can you pay for Luka? Yes, you can, but the model is telling us to pay up for Ja Morant, so that's what I'm going to do. It's kind of as simple as that. He should be a strong starting point for you guys tonight. And like I said, I kind of like Jalen Brunson. He has been a very consistent fantasy producer for the most part. The shot attempts continue to be there for him against OKC. New York was just doing some weird stuff with their rotation, so none of the starters really got a lot of run, but he still scored 34 points, which was awesome. You kind of expect him to play a little bit more in this game, obviously, so those shot attempts should continue to be there for him. The assists should continue to be there for him. He should be a strong price point play tonight. He is someone that I think I'll be going out of my way to play. Once again, like Dylan Brooks, Jordan Clarkson, you can end up on if you want to. I like the Spurs as like a bounce back spot. They just got blown out against the Golden State Warriors, so you don't really have to worry about the minutes or anything like that. Like they got blown out, there should be, then you get the final rotation or even the final minutes, like they should be fine. Okay, so if you want to end up on the Spurs players, you definitely can. Tyus Jones maybe gets a little bit more run with Brooks out, something you can do, but not a lock and load play like he was with Ja Morant and Bain out. Norman Powell, someone that's been playing a little bit better as of recently, but not someone you're chasing. Cam Reddish finally had a good game in his last game because, well, all the backups got some run in that game, so tough to say what you should do there, honestly. Malik Beasley is a very interesting play. We can see been getting some minutes the last few games now. The shot attempts have been there as well, and the 3-point shot attempts have been there as well. So he is someone that, yes, if he's going to continue to shoot that much at this price point, he's someone that can get hot, and he's someone that can score 30 DK points. Well, a lot of people are trying to chase this game. It would make sense to maybe go with Beasley with this game. There's a route in which he could really go off and have a great game, especially at that price point. Josh Richardson probably going to soak up some ownership tonight as well, playing a decent amount of minutes since he's been back. Decent price point play, not like a lock and load play, but we saw him shoot very poorly last night and really his last couple of games since he's been back. So he is someone that is due for a good night shooting. Talk about positive regression. That'd be something Josh Richardson would be in for tonight. Not a lock and load play, but it also wouldn't shock me if he gets hot shooting the ball tonight. So Seth Curry would be the play that I really like on tonight's slate if he plays. He's currently listed as questionable, but is probably expected to play. So he has been playing a lot of minutes-ish, kind of 23 and 28. So if we can get more closer to that 28 minutes, and I think just like game flow wise, the games weren't really close. So if the game is close, like Vegas is expecting it to be, then Seth Curry could be a strong price point play. We've seen him come out and shoot the ball a ton, okay, while he's been getting this minutes. So as long as there's not a big minutes restriction or anything like that, as long as he's going to be getting over 25 minutes and shooting the ball that much, which we can expect, he should be a very strong price point play tonight. So he is someone I think I'll be going out of my way to play. All right, now looking at the forwards on the slate, sure, you can definitely afford to pay up for Kevin Durant if you want to. Not sure he's going to hit value at his price point, but at the same time, 50 DK points, not going to be terrible. Might not hurt you on tonight's slate. I do really like Julius Randle on tonight's slate. Should be a solid, safe price point play. I would expect 35 to 45 DK points from him tonight. Once again, it seems like a lot of people are trying to chase this game, so he'd be an easy way to do that. Pretty much trying to lock in 40 DK points, and I think he is someone that allows you to do that. From there, like Keldon Johnson should be in for a better game as well. Shot the ball okay. Just didn't play that much. You can expect him to get freaking almost 19 more minutes actually if this game stays close like it should. So he's someone that is certainly in for a good bounce back spot. Lauri Markkanen, 2 kind of bad games in a row given the price point. He is someone that easily against New York could have a better game as well. And then Jeremy Grant, a guy that's went off the last 2 games. Okay, wouldn't it be too shocking to see him go off again? Those 3 right there at that price point range are very interesting plays. I might end up on one of them in each of my builds and hoping that I land on the correct one. If I'm making 3 builds, maybe I just separate those 3 out. RJ Barrett, someone you do expect to have a better game with the minutes being there. Once again, the OKC game was just strange. So at this price point, he's kind of priced at what his kind of floor would be. So he'd be a strong small forward play. Last night I was struggling to find good small forward plays to start off. Well, that's not really the case tonight. For now, I do like John Concher. Minutes wise should be there, but once again, a much, much better play on FanDuel. So my biggest struggle with tonight's slate is going to be the center spot because, well, Like, you can certainly pay up for Sabonis, but he is definitely priced up now. Part of that is because of his great matchup against the Golden State Warriors. Okay, that's the matchup you want to attack with centers. Okay, and he went off against them. Great, but now he's priced up that way, so it makes him a much more difficult play. Like, yes, we're going to probably get 40 DK points out of him as long as those minutes are there. I don't know if we can like get 50 though, which is what that price point is indicating we need to get from him. So he's a difficult play. So is J Val. Portal, I don't mind. Once again, I think the Spurs are going to be better plays tonight. He is someone that could easily go for 40 DK points and it wouldn't shock anyone. He has been the one I've been ending up on at least early today. But, you know, there's other routes that you could easily go. And especially with some of the injury news that's here, Claxton, probable. But, you know, if he were to sit, you could look elsewhere. Jaren Jackson Jr. is expected to play tonight. And how much does that affect, you know, some of the bigs for Memphis? Does that mean Steven Adams gets a few less minutes? Because at his price point, he'd be a fine price point play as well. It's just there's the lack of clarity there. So I'm hoping we get some news on that before lineup lock. And once again, if we do, make sure to be in the Discord chat before lock. I still like Charles Bassey. If you would have told me that he was going to get 24 minutes last night, I'd be like, all right, lock him in because he's going to go for 30 DK points. Now, he only put up 21, and now the price point is definitely to the point where he is not a must play, and he's someone that we have to start thinking about not playing, okay? 4.1 is a lot to pay up for him. Can he get 20 DK points again for the third straight game? Yes. But is he going to be someone that has that flame mark? Probably not. So, you know, he's someone you could end up on, but not someone you're particularly going out of your way to play. Not really even a shoulder shrug play. Obi Toppin, been someone that's been a strong DK point per minute player, but are those minutes going to be there? That's the big question. So a lot of okay plays, a lack of quality of plays. And then obviously for the forward spot, we have 3.2 left over. So let's look at the model and see if there's anyone popping up at that price point range. So yeah, sort it by salary. Going to scroll all the way down to like 3.2 or 3.3. Why not? See which player is projected to be the best value. Reggie Bullock currently. Okay, we can put him in there. Let's see what Nick Batum's minutes are, because I could see Nick Batum getting a little bit more run as well. So those would kind of be the two I would put in there. We'll go with Bullock for now. You know, if the minutes are there, could easily get to 18 DK points, which at that price point would work. Batum could be someone that does get a little bit more run, you know, 20 minutes or so. A decent like shoulder shrug play right now. You could put him in there and hope for more value to pop up on tonight's slate. So we'll just do that for now. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Please give a like and subscribe. That helps us be able to put out more content for you guys. If you guys want access to any of the tools that you saw featured in this video, make sure to click the links in the description below. All right. Thanks for watching and good luck tonight.